Hi Flosstube, I'm Tamara. I am PD Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and this is my channel about cross stitch. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Today is Mother's Day here in the United States. It is Sunday, May 9th. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning here in South Carolina, so I've got nice sunshine coming in through the side window over here. So hopefully that'll give me some good lighting. If you are a mom, Happy Mother's Day. If you are not a mom but are blessed to have a significant role in the life of a young person, Happy Mother's Day to you too, because even if you're not their biological mom, I'm thankful for anybody who has a significant impact on my own children. So Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Let's see, what do we have today? I've got a finish. I've got some whips, some plans, a little bit of happy mail, some shout outs, and then a little bit of life I'll throw in at the end. So let's get started. My first thing is a finish. I shared last week I'm not doing Mania the way I normally do Mania, and I just threw a whole bunch of floss on the floor. That would be what you heard drop, but that's okay. It's been a morning already, y'all. So, anyways, as I was saying, I shared last week that I'm not doing Mania the way I normally do, where I do a new start, like 15, 20 new starts. I'm not doing that. But first of all, I have a lot of Mania projects from last year that are not finished, so on their birthdays, I'm going back and working on those, trying to get a finish if I can, or at least putting in some decent progress. And then I think I'm going to do 4 or 5 new starts this year for Mania, maybe once a week, because I can't, I'm too overwhelmed. The thought of having that many new starts this year just overwhelmed me. So this one was one that had a birthday from last year's Mania. So I started this last year during Mania, and it got a finish. So this is Chalkboard Christmas Greetings from Tiny Modernist, and this is the Merry and Bright little train. And all I had left to do, is this the one I did? Yes, all I had left to do was this smoke and a couple of the little snowflakes. I think these 4 snowflakes, and then the spokes in these wheels. That's it. Why I didn't finish this before, I don't know. This only took me, I think, 80-something stitches to finish up. So I could have easily finished it before and just didn't. Why not? Let's just leave it with a few stitches left and let it sit there for a year. Okay. So, but that was on 32 count Chalkboard Black Zweigert, I believe. I don't know who the fabric is by. I just know it's Chalkboard Black. So that was my only finish this week, but I have several whips to share. The first one is a new start. I started this last Sunday, right after I filmed. I started this. This is July from the Cricut collection, and y'all ignore my very bad nails. They're chipping and I haven't had a chance to redo them, so I'm sorry. But this is July, and I love each of these months from the Cricut collection because I love all the details. I can't wait to get to this flag. I love the little top hat, the little patriotic top hat. So I got a decent start. I've gotten all of J, and then the little sparkler at the beginning, and a little sparkler in between the J and the U. And I don't know if this will pick up the sparkle, but I'm using a toile DMC E135 for the sparklers. And I love how, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a variety of colors within the thread in addition to the metallic sparkly. I also changed, this is supposed to be a fancy floss. I didn't have that one, so I did the suggested blend to start with. And then it was too light, so I changed out one of the threads in the blend to one shade darker, and I think it is showing really, really well now in the letters for the J and the U. It gives it enough variegation, though, with the blend that I like it a lot. So I've gotten a good bit done on July. I'll probably work on this the rest of the day. If I don't start a new start today, I don't know. I'm struggling with whether or not I want to start a new start, but we'll talk about that later in plans. So that is my new start. And that is on 32 count color and cotton. I can't pronounce it. Demoiselle. It will be, all of this will be in the description box below. I'll have the fabrics and any changes that I made, I'll note in the description box below. I cannot pronounce the name of the fabric, but I don't know if you could tell, it's got some modeling. Let me see if I put this behind it if you can see it better. It's got some purpley modeling in through here, which I thought went well with this pattern. So we'll see how it ends up turning out, but I'm really liking that right now. So the next whip was Words to Live By. I started this was my New Year's Day start. And so I started with this block, and I've done one block a month. So January, February, March, April, and now I'm down here for May on Act Like What You Do Makes a Difference. It does. So my goal is to finish this block this month, and then I'll either go over to this one or go down. I'm going to save this one for last. There are 13 blocks, including this one, so I'll get all 12 of the outside blocks done this year, and then hopefully finish that one up next year in January. So, and I use this for a couple of, it's in the Q-snap wonky, so please ignore the fact that it looks crooked. It's really not. It's just in the Q-snap a little weird. So I've got the top half basically. I'm on that little ribbon part to go across, and then I'll just have the rest of this. So I feel like I should easily be able to get this done. But I use this for a couple of homework prompts in Magical Stitches this past week. So if it fits a couple more homework prompts, then I should be able to knock that out easily by the end of this month. So that was Words to Live by Tiny Modernist, and that was also on 32 count Chalkboard Black from Zweigert. I don't know. The next thing I worked on was Kenny Kangaroo, and I don't have a better picture, so it's just on my little printout paper, and it didn't print out very well. My colors were kind of weak that day. But I took this with me to the region track meet that my girls were competing in this week. Because it's small, I could throw it in my bag easy. And all I got done the whole day while we were sitting there was the sunglasses and the brown part of his face and his nose. That's it. That's all I did. Because it was hot. It was windy. It was at the beach. The track meet was at a high school in a beach town. So it was really breezy, and stitching was just out of the question. It was difficult to do. My fabric kept blowing over, which is why I love these little magnets, because they did hold it back. But the thread, the floss, my pattern, I had my pattern hooked up underneath the magnet. It was still flopping around. I had it all folded up so it would was just like that big, and it was still flapping around, and I just finally put it aside and watched the track meet. I watched what my kids ran and threw, but I just watched the rest of the meet and watched everybody else because there was not going to be a lot of stitching done that day. So I didn't get a lot of progress on that one, but that's okay. It was something small I could throw in my bag. The next two whips I have are from last year's Mania starts. The first one is Sign of Freedom, and this is from the August 2017 Just Cross Stitch magazine. It's Sign of Freedom. This is what it's going to look like. And it is by Nancy Waller, designed by Nancy Waller. And I feel like I've gotten a good bit of it done. I haven't done any of the words, the backstitch words. I'm saving those for last. And then I need to buy the charms that go on there. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy those charms or just find some charms that are patriotic and throw them on. But this is on a fabric Flair. I have no idea the name, but I love the blue and kind of cloudish modeling on it. So I added the D and the O the other day when I worked on this. So like I said, I still have to go in. I have to finish the red outlines, borders, and then the M, obviously, and then all the backstitch. So this one I should be able to knock out if I worked on it. More about that in plans. So that was one of my Mania starts last year. And then the other thing that I worked on that was a Mania start that had a birthday this week, I worked on yesterday, and I actually got a lot done on this one. This is Pretty Little San Francisco from Satsuma Street. And this is on 32 count something. I think it's just a 32 count natural that I got at Walmart or something like that. Or Target, or not Target, Hobby Lobby. Our Target and our Hobby Lobby are right down the street from each other, and for some reason I like to say them interchangeably. They are not. But yesterday I got this tree, this bridge, part of the clock tower, and some of the water. That was 400 and something stitches, and looking at it, it doesn't look like that many. I still have, obviously, a good bit over here to do. But I bought this. I was born in Sacramento, California, and lived in California till I was 8. And I vaguely remember trips to San Francisco when I was young, before we moved to South Carolina. And then a few years ago, one of my daughters, qualified for the national track meet for Junior Olympics that was in Sacramento. And so we went out there and we spent one day visiting San Francisco. So I bought that to kind of commemorate our trip and my memories from my childhood. So those are all of my whips from this week. Next week, I only have one whip that was a Mania start last year that I'll work on. It has a birthday this week, and that's This Way to the Pumpkin Patch from the Autumn Skies from Hands On Design. So I'll work on that, and I don't have much to do on that. Again, I get so close to finishing, and then I just don't. Literally, I have TCH. That's it. That's all I have left to do. Why I didn't finish this before, I don't know. So this one, I hopefully will be able to finish when it has its birthday this week. This week's going to be a little crazy. So we'll see. I may not. It just depends on how much stitching time I get that day. So that's one plan for this week. Like I said earlier, I'm not sure if I'm going to start a new start today. I'm supposed to start a new start, so I have one a week. I don't know. I'm just feeling overwhelmed with how many projects I have going, and I'm not seeing a lot of progress on anyone, and I get a lot of them to right close to a finish, and then I don't finish them until the next year when it's time to work on it again. And I want to finish some more things. I think I counted this morning 35 works in progress or WIPs. And those all include all of the individual Advent animals that I have left to do, which is 14. So I'd like to get that number down to something more manageable for me. I know there are people out there that have over 50, over 100, 150. And if that works for them, I am not throwing shade at them at all, because they are welcome to do whatever works for their stitchy happiness. It just is stressing me out right now to have that many. So I'm not sure I'm going to start a new start. And if I do, it might be a really small one so that maybe I can see a finish quickly. This week, to go into life a little bit, this week is going to be one of the busiest weeks that I have all year. My job, I work from home as the administrator for a youth soccer club, which basically means that I do all the paperwork, all the registrations, all the email blasts for the club and things like that. This week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, are tryouts for our club teams, which means I'm at the fields for check-in, registration, all the paperwork stuff for that. So that's a good 3 hours every night for those 4 nights, plus the paperwork that has to be done to prep in the mornings before I go, and then the next morning from the night before. So that's not going to leave me a lot of stitching time. However, we finished our school year this past week. Friday was the last day my girls had any schoolwork to do, so it was supposed to be tomorrow was supposed to be the last day, but my daughter that still had one thing left to do. She just decided to take her test on Friday and get it done. So we're done. We're done with school, that just means that it's a little bit of time I get back to work on other things that I'm not spending grading papers or doing paperwork for school stuff. So, and for those of you who are new, we homeschool. I homeschool my children. My oldest. None of my kids have ever been in a brick and mortar school. I've homeschooled from the time my oldest was 3. He's now entering his last semester in college this fall. I've got 2 girls who are graduating in 2 weeks. Yikes. They're going to graduate high school, and they'll be going to college in the fall. And then I have one girl who's a sophomore and one who is in the 7th grade. So I still have 5 more years to go. It's been 17 years, and I have 5 years to go. I'm on the back end. It just seems like it's a very slow decline towards the finish line, but that's okay. So that's my life update in a nutshell. I'm just very, very busy, always very, very busy. Next Saturday is the lower state track meet for one of my girls. Then the next Saturday is graduation for the twins, and the night before that is the state track meet for my track child. So, like I said, May is busy, which is why I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, I think, with even thinking about starting any new projects. Just having anything else on my plate right now seems a little stressful, but that's okay. So I have some happy mail. I got my fabric of the month from Color and Cotton this month. The April fabric of the month was Succulent, and this is such a pretty neutral. It's kind of a beigey gray, a grayish, I guess. I'll hold it up against this white so it kind of, but it's a very pretty neutral, so I'm sure I can find something to put on that. And I get the 32 count from Color and Cotton from their monthly. And then I ordered some flosses from my local my local online. It's a little bit of both, needle workshop. So Fire Poppies is here in South Carolina. It's about a 2-hour drive for me, so I don't get down there often. However, I do order from them often because it takes them very little time to get their orders out. Usually if I order it, it's ready to ship the next day, and because I'm just a little ways up the road, I usually have it within 3 days of ordering. So I ordered some different Week Style Works colors. So, very pretty. When I ordered them, it was for particular projects, and I didn't write down what the projects were, so I'm not really sure where these all go, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. But I also, in that order, they sent, and it's in the plastic, but I don't want to crinkle too much. They sent a little needle minder that says, "I'm kind of a big girl to my LONS, my local online needle workshop," as a thank you for my order. And I just thought that was really, really sweet. And I cannot wait to throw this on my project today. It will probably go on the July project since I'm working on that every day. I don't know if I said earlier when I pulled that one out, but that is my 100 stitches a day project. So basically I try to put at least 100 stitches a day into it until I finish it. So like I said, I should be able to finish that easily by the end of this month by just slapping 100 stitches in there every day. Very rarely do I only do 100. Usually it's 150. Sometimes it's 200. Depends on how much stitching time and how much I can get done in the morning. Because I usually get up in the morning, read my Bible, do my devotions, and then stitch before the day gets started. And that's my 100 stitches a day time. And then I do my day, I work, do housework, laundry, all that stuff that has to be done. And then in the evenings, I work on whatever project I'm working on for that day. I don't count the 100 stitches a day project as that day's project, if that makes sense. So that's my happy mail. I don't want to call it haul because even though it was, I didn't go get it. It came in my mailbox. So happy mail sounds so much nicer. And then I want to do a shout out. This is a new to me Flosstuber, not a new Flosstuber. Heather Confetti Stitcher. She, I just started watching her this week. She has the most lovely, I don't know what other word to use, full coverage pieces that she does. And her floss tubes are done vlog style, so she shows you an update every day. And she does full coverage pieces. I love full coverage pieces. If you noticed, there were none that I worked on this past week. I have 3 that I have going. I struggle with them just because they're mind taxing and my mind can't take any taxing right now. So maybe in June when life slows down, I'll pull out a full coverage and work on it. But I love watching other people's full coverage pieces. So I love seeing her projects this week. And then last but not least, I want to leave you with our quote for the week. And this one is from Maya Angelou. Try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. We don't know what people are going through. If they're like most people, you never are going to know because they're going to put on their happy sunshine face even though they're living in a cloud. Because we don't know that, be kind to everyone. Be an uplifter. Try and bring rainbows and sunshine into what could be a dark day for somebody. That's my goal to do this week and every week. It should be my goal every day to just be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud. Y'all stay happy, stay healthy, keep stitching. Bye.